Hey everybody, welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade. So unfortunately we did not get to see the green comet. And then I started working in the garden about 3 days ago, and I started on the irrigation and I started working on the irrigation, and I did get a majority of it fixed except for 3 garden beds. I have not leveled any of the beds. I've just been working on the irrigation. The guys were so adamant about doing the irrigation for me, but I gotta learn how to do it, because if any of this stuff breaks, I gotta learn how to fix it. Plus I got a little pamphlet of let me see if I could find it. Let me go check to see where I left it. Okay, so I got this little pamphlet right here at the at our local gardening store, and it just has so much information on how to do irrigation. So, and like what you need, it has pictures, which is so nice. And then you can have an idea how to use it, and then it tells you all the different parts. Look at that. It has like a little index of all the different parts that you might need, and then it has a little description on how to do it. So yeah, that is awesome. So I'm gonna have to read up on this, because yeah, I just put so much drip in one of the garden beds, and then I was gonna put a valve on, and then I realized that I have to put a valve on both ends of the drip line because the water was flowing through. It was just such a mess, but I'm learning. So yeah, so we didn't get to see the green comet, and I just been working on the irrigation. Plus it rained for a couple days also. So a lot of things have been happening, and we have some seedlings. So that is so exciting. Okay, so first let's start off here in the onion patch here. Okay, so over here we have some red onions, and these are the onions that my dad brought over for us, and they're doing really, really good. I cannot wait to be able to pop them up. Now I do have some yellow onions growing in the back there that I planted from onion sets. And so what I'm learning about onion sets is that, it's kind of the start of the onion. It's not started, I believe it's not started from seed, or maybe it is started from seed. I'm not, oh my God, I'm not even too sure. But I did buy them from the onion sets, and the package was very, the instructions were very generic. It said if you plan on planting in the fall, to plant them right away, so I did. And then it said for harvesting time that the bottom leaves should be brown, and then you're supposed to be harvesting in the summertime. That's pretty much what it said. So, last year I grew some onions. The bulbs weren't that big, and I did start them from seed. So I'm thinking that maybe I just didn't let them grow enough. And I'm hoping that this, that these will grow and be a nice, good bulb, because this is my first time growing this amount of onion, because I have it in this bed, and I have some in the little garden bed. Okay, so let me show you what I was working on. So over here, it does not look very pretty because I am not an expert, but I guarantee it's not gonna leak. So I ended up putting a coupler right here and attaching it to the main line. Then I cut a little PVC right here, attached my valve, my shutoff valve, added another PVC, an elbow, another coupler with the threaded end, and just threaded this piece right here where you could attach it with some drip line. So yeah, I'm learning a lot about the drip, and there's so many different methods. I don't have to do it this way. This is just what I know right now and what I've been taught, because this is our first time ever doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, I feel like the more I play with it, the better I'll get, and the more familiar I'll be with doing irrigation, especially at least in my garden. Okay, so I did get some netting for those stinking birds, and I came out here early in the morning and I saw a bird dive down and then swoop back up because it saw my netting, and I was so excited. Because as you can hear, we have a lot of birds, and in the morning time, oh my gosh, it's crazy. So it's nothing fancy. I just bought this black netting from the local nursery, and yeah, it's been working. So I just put a little bamboo stake right here in the middle. And this is nothing fancy, it's just a little pot, and it's only supposed to make it so that the bamboo stake doesn't shoot through the netting. But in this garden bed, we have some carrots, and the carrots, if you can see them, they're looking really good. And the spinach, yeah, way better, way better. Like, my goodness, I am so glad. I'm so glad I found out that it was the birds that were eating the spinach. So these are the valves that I'm talking about. Let me show you real fast. Here you go. So these are the valves that I'm talking about, little shut-off valves. Yeah, so this hose goes all the way to the very end. You see that? All the way over there to the very end. And then it tees, so water is still flowing through the hose. So I had to put one of these shut-off valves on the other end as well, or cap it off. So yeah, I'm not even too sure. I got to read that catalog to see what I can do, because I just got that catalog today. So I'm definitely going to read up on it, and maybe there's a better method that I could use for the drip, because I know there is. Okay, so here is the garlic, and the garlic is doing so good. So I cannot wait to harvest the garlic. Nothing fancy, nothing special, but yeah, I'm just so excited. Okay, here is the lemongrass, and I did trim it up. I trimmed up the lemongrass. I'm not, I'm not really good at trimming up bushes or trees or anything like that. So it's not quite, I'm just noticing now, it's not quite even. But we are, I'm looking at these beds. I put a little bit of a fish emulsion amendment in the bed, and then John's gonna order us some mushroom compost garden blend so that we can add into the garden beds and get them ready, because I'm so excited. Cannot wait to show you those seedlings. So this is the garden bed that we have, the one cauliflower, and I didn't put any netting over this because we really don't have anything super fancy going on in this garden bed. And I'm thinking about just clearing it out and starting fresh. I mean, probably leaving the cauliflower, but just starting fresh, and yeah, that's pretty much it, and use this garden bed for something else. And I have been drawing up a diagram of what I want to plant in each bed and how I plan on planting it so I could get the most out of this garden. So that is so exciting. Okay, so over here, this is our blackberry bush, and it's actually doing really good. I see so many little what do you call, little sprouts, or yeah, just like little sprouts. Yeah. So yeah, they're growing, and it's, oh, I cannot wait. I hope we get some blackberries for summertime. That would be so awesome to get some blackberries. Last year I only got a handful, and they were so good. So I'm still debating what I'm going to plant on this trellis. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe cucumber, but then the cucumber gets so big, and what if it's on the very top and I can't reach it? So, that might be a problem. Maybe beans, maybe do some beans. Beans will probably be easier, because cucumbers, I might have to do a different type of trellising method. I was talking to John, thinking maybe we might get some more these cattle panel or hog panels, because the hog panels are not as tall, and I think this is a hog panel. So maybe we'll get a cattle panel. It's a little bigger. I don't know. I'll see. We'll see. And then I'll see what I have in hand. So maybe use what we have before I go and purchase something else. Okay, so here is the broccoli. And I did put a netting over the broccoli as well. And it's doing really good. So we have so many broccoli. Let me show you how the broccoli is looking. Now, it doesn't look that big like you would get like in the supermarket, where you get them nice and big and round. So I'm assuming that it's not quite ready yet. But I did pick some, because some of it was bolting. So I did harvest some of the broccoli. And yeah, but let me give you a better look. There, look at that. Oh, don't they look so good? That is just so exciting. Look at that. I see a little bit of bird poop right there. Evidence of the birds. So, yeah. Thank God we have this netting on there. But all this broccoli is doing so well. It's so nice. It's so hearty, and it's just so pleasing when you plant the broccoli, or you plant any vegetable from seed and you can eat from it. It's just so awesome. Okay, so over here we have our raspberry bush, and I don't know, guys, I don't know, I might have killed the raspberry bush because it does not look good. Some of the new growth that I thought was growing, it looks like it's dying out, but I scratched the stem and it looks green, so maybe it's just in shock right now because I ripped them apart. So I hope it comes back. We didn't really get any raspberries last year, but I don't know, I was hoping maybe this year we get some raspberry. Okay, so now over here, this is where we have the celery, and this is how big it is. And you know, I started this celery so long ago, and it's the only thing that's growing in this garden bed right here is the celery. And I feel that I might just start fresh and start from scratch, and maybe, you know, take out all the celery because I feel I don't know, maybe it's stunted, maybe I planted it too late. I mean, so many possibilities because, you know, I'm a new gardener, and although I want to start a farm market, I still have to learn how to grow the vegetables so I can see what grows best in this area and what grows best, you know, here. So, and the easiest thing to grow, I want to grow the most easiest things that are not going to take super, you know, a lot of time, or have a lot of issues with pests or things like that. So I'm really learning what grows best in our environment, and I'm just learning how to grow food. So yeah, so here are the carrots, and the carrots, oh my goodness, you guys, I pulled out the most beautiful carrots the other day. They were so red and just so beautiful, and man, they are so flavorful, so flavorful. So I know for sure I'm definitely going to plant more carrots, for sure. Okay, so here is the cabbage right here. The cabbage is doing extremely well. Now, we don't really have any cabbage heads yet, and here are the Brussels sprouts right there, those 3 little guys right there. But I'm hoping that we get some cabbage soon. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna do good in the heat, and today was a pretty warm day. I want to say it was probably in the 60s, but the sun was out and it was beautiful. So here is another garden bed that I ended up fixing also right here. I replaced this valve because when we raised the bed, the valve was too low and it just didn't have any room, so we ended up having to redo that. But that is pretty much it. Oh my goodness, and oh my goodness, I am so excited. The little things. We have a water spigot in the garden. Yeah, so now I don't have to drag the hoses, because it would take me about 2 hoses to 75, was it 75 feet? No, 100. I think it was like 100 feet hoses. 2 of them together would make it from the one water spigot all the way and water the garden. So I used to drag that hose, my goodness, during the summertime into the garden bed, and then I had to go wrap it back up because I didn't want people to be driving over the hoses, because last year was the first year I actually spent good money on some hoses, and hoses are not cheap, so I didn't want people to be driving over them. So yeah, so I'm so excited to get that water spigot in there. And then we have another water spigot in the little garden. It's not in the little garden, it's right outside of the little garden. But oh my goodness, you guys. It is, you don't realize how nice it is when you get irrigation in certain spots. It just makes your life so much easier. Okay, so over here in the little garden, like, did I show you everything in the big garden? Oh, the Myers lemon, nothing. Nothing worth showing because there's nothing growing. Oh, that rhymed. Okay, so over here in the little garden, I am housing a lot of plants because I was being a little lazy and I didn't want to drag them all to the big garden, so I put them in here to protect them from the chickens. So over here let's start off right over here. We have some garlic. Do you see that? So here we have all of our garlic, and then we have our red onions right there, and they're doing so good. So that is so exciting. And then let me show you over here. Right over here in this bed, this is where we have our white onion right here. And then we have, you know, some sporadic red onions, some green onions in the corner over there. This is just all onions in this area. And then over here on this side, we have some yellow onions and what else? Red onions in the middle, and then yellow onions in the back. My goodness, you guys, the mosquitoes are off the hook. They're so good. Oh, and also, let me show you this hellebore. Holy moly. So I was just at the nursery the other day, and I was picking out some plants for some of the containers, and look at this hellebore. Do you see that? It's like a double. Oh, look at that. I know exactly where I'm going to put those at. I'm going to put that one at Chico's, at one of the shopping centers, in some of the containers. It kind of flanks the door. Oh my God, those ladies are going to love it. Can't wait. I love it when I do some of the containers, because some of those business owners are so excited and they just love it when I do up those containers. But yeah, so that is pretty much what is happening on the farm. Everything's doing really good. Everything is drying up. Oh my goodness, the skunk came back. So a while back, I don't know if you remember, we had a skunk issue living underneath the barn. Well, it came back and it was huge. It is no little skunk anymore. So we started doing a bunch of research on how to, you know, not, because we didn't want to not have the skunk around, because we heard the skunk is really good for the garden. It eats pests, it deters mice and all kinds of, eats mice and rats or whatever rodent problem that you might have. So we thought, you know, it's good to have a skunk. Well, we didn't want it to have it underneath the barn, so we ended up, I found out that if you put kitty litter in the hole, like used kitty litter, that it's supposed to deter the skunk from burrowing in that area. So it did. Oh my God, that's mosquito just sucked a whole life out of me. But so yeah, it did deter it. It's not digging in that area anymore. But now it's found another area, and I believe it's underneath this barn. Sweetie, where's that? Where's that hole at for the skunk? Is it underneath this barn? Did he start digging over here?
There's two, one in that one and one in that one.
No, but I covered that one. He hasn't come back.
Oh, yeah, that one. I didn't look to see if
so
it's
yeah,
over there.
It's over there by the chicken coop. But it doesn't bother the chickens, so that's good. Oh my goodness. So John,
looking up to see what kind of habitat they would like, and then build a couple of skunk houses around out over there for him or her.
Yeah.
And hope that it moves into it, and that way it doesn't live here.
That's right. John shaved off all of his hair, and I know, you know, he didn't have a lot of hair on top, but he shaved it all off, and I started crying. I literally started crying. I don't even know why.
We have to go to that mixer and pick up my truck.
Oh shoot.
So you have to change and get dressed, and then
all right.
have to go.
Well, I guess you gotta go. All right, so thank you for hanging out with me. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, let me show you the seedlings really fast. There we go. Look at all those little seedlings. How exciting. So yeah, so that is the start of our 2023 garden. I am so stinking excited, but now it looks like I have to go and go get ready because I totally forgot. John's always making plans and I always forget. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.